Good evening. We want to welcome our viewers of the Johnson City Government Information Channel on Charter Cable Channel 192 and Comcast Cable Channel 17 to this live telecast of the August 8, 2017 Johnson City Regional Planning Commission meeting. This meeting will be rebroadcast on Friday, August the 11th at 12 o'clock noon. Call the meeting to order and ask for Commissioner Clark to give us our invocation and pledge of allegiance. Thank you.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for a beautiful day you gave us today. We hope that you will provide us with the wisdom and the guidance that we need to address these issues tonight and carry our community forward in a positive manner. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda tonight will be the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a motion to move the election of officers for the year to the front of the agenda?
We have a motion to move the election of officers to the top of the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So approved. So next we'll move to approval of the minutes from the July 2011 meeting. Have a motion for approval?
You haven't changed your motion.
She said she would fix the
okay.
only for us.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do we want to memorialize what we're correcting?
Yes, I will let you know. We are approving the minutes with a correction on the page 4 or 5 of the, if you will read the motion by Commissioner Wise to recommend approval of the City Commission with the conditions regarding the Ed Baxter Street abandonment of right-of-way. Condition number 2, the word only will be replaced with the word until after the city would have accepted the new road. There you go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And passes. Thank you. So next we'll move on to the election of officers for the Planning Commission. Looking for motions.
This is like a church meeting. If you don't show up, you're going to be the chair. And if you don't speak first, you may be the chair. So I'm going to speak very quickly. And I would suggest making a motion for a second year with Tim Zients as our chair and Bob Cooper as our vice chair. Do we want to do that all in one move, or can we do that separately? I'm trying to recall.
I think we can do it in one move.
Okay, so
There's a motion.
there's one motion.
Okay. We have a second?
What about secretary?
Well, we do need secretary and assistant secretary as well.
Can we knock them all out in one?
When it's late.
Okay,
With
sounds
others
good.
can join in. I don't want this to just be me.
Go
Then,
ahead.
I would, and I haven't taken time, let me take a moment actually to welcome our new 2 commissioners at this point. And so we'll welcome our new Commissioner Stacy Wild.
Hello.
Thank you. And our new Commissioner General Gary Harrell.
Howdy.
Thank you both for joining us. Glad to have you. So having said that, Stacy, I'm going to move that you would be our secretary for next year if you'd be willing to accept.
I would be.
And Ms. Sandos, if you would accept being the assistant secretary.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a motion for me to continue as chairman and for Mr. Cooper to be the vice chairman and for, I'm blanking, for Ms. Wild to be our secretary and Ms. Sandos the assistant secretary. We have a second.
Second.
Okay. If you'll call the roll, please.
Okay. Commissioner Lowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Harrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Commissioner Sandos?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Yes.
And Chairman Zients.
Yes. Thank you very much. So thank you all. Look forward to another year. All right, let's move on to the final subdivision plat approval for Lincoln's Bend subdivision. A-Song?
The subdivision before the Planning Commission for consideration is the final subdivision plat for Lincoln Benz subdivision. This was a major subdivision involving the construction of new streets and new utilities. City staff has visited the site, inspected the improvements that have been put in place, water and sewer, public streets, and has determined that they meet public street standards. All infrastructure meet public requirements. An as-built has been submitted, reviewed a couple of times by both engineering staff and water and sewer staff, and has been approved. We do not have any outstanding bond as far as this particular project is concerned. The applicant has named one of the streets, Celebration Court. Staff has reviewed that name to ensure that it meets the requirements or the standards we have set in the subdivision regulations of the city, and has determined that the name meets those requirements. Staff is recommending that the Planning Commission approve this final subdivision plat for recording.
Thank you, Asan. Do we have any questions for staff?
Tell us a little bit about the floodplain, Asan.
There are a couple of areas on this plat that are floodplains at the rear of the property and crisscrossing 2 or 3 of the lots on the side. These, on that side, there isn't a creek flowing. This is a calculated floodplain. It's kind of like a design flood area to control stormwater on the side. As constructed and as the lots have been platted on this particular plat, it could have been possible that variances would have been required, as developers or property owners build their houses away from that floodplain. Staff asked the surveyor to draw all the setback lines so it could make sure that there is enough buildable area. That was done, and there is enough buildable area on all the lots. Of course, it's possible that somebody comes up tomorrow and wants to build a very giant house. That's a possibility. But what we have now shows that one of the biggest concerns was with respect to the front yard setbacks. Usually, property owners will not build inside the floodway. They won't go that far. The front yard setback, 25 feet, that will be met without any significant issues. And the plat maintains the same design. The final plat is the same as that which the Planning Commission considered as a preliminary plat. The lot lines are all the same. Nothing has been changed.
Thank you, sir. Any further questions? No? All right. And I would open up for public comment, but seeing that there is no one here for public comment, I'm assuming we have none.
Don't destroy the illusion for the viewers at home.
So
There was a packed house.
we'll open up for discussion and motions on the commission.
Move that we approve.
I have a motion for approval, a second,
Second that.
and a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Lowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Harrell? Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Commissioner Sandos?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Yes.
And Chairman Zilens.
Yes, thank you. And seeing no more activity, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved and second. All in favor? Aye.
new one, sir?
Do something
Yeah.
right here.
That is a record.
Is that a record?
9 minutes.